All right. We're back. The DMB top 25. Brian, Nick, Mike Vasilikos. Welcome back to the DMB top 25, ranking the top 25 Dave Matthews Band songs, studio recordings, no live tracks, no unreleased songs, no one off collabs or any of that stuff. Follow us on YouTube. Thanks to some folks who have subscribed already at the DMB top 25. Same handle on Instagram. And we've got an email address too, dmbtop25 at gmail.com. Brian and I have each made our lists of what we think the top 25 Dave Matthews Band songs are. We do not know each other's picks. We are each episode revealing a portion of our top 25. We got through 25 to 21. Today, this episode, number 20 through 16. Brian's going to start this week. But before we get into it, why don't you recap where we've been so far?
Absolutely. Oh, getting into the top 20 now. These are like the unskippable favorite songs, but let's recap 25 through 21. I'll start with yours. 25, Drunken Soldier, starting us off with a bang. Rapunzel, number 24. Samurai Cop, parentheses, Oh Joy Begin, number 23. Number 22, Pig, from Before These Crowded Streets. And number 21, Lie in Our Graves. My number 25, Lover Laid Down. 24, Too High, from Some Devil. Number 23, So Right, from Everyday. Number 22, Best of What's Around. Number 21, You Never Know, from Busted Stuff. So I'm going to start off with my number 20, Mike, if that's okay.
Yeah, you start this week.
My number 20 is Grace Is Gone from Busted Stuff.
Oh,
So
man.
going back to last week, You Never Know, number 21, Busted Stuff, Grace Is Gone, number 20. For me, this is the best sounding recording on that album. I love it. I think it's one of the ones that really went up a notch from the Lily White sessions, which we don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about, to Busted Stuff in terms of how it sounds. It has this twangy, almost Dave going country feel to
Mm-hmm.
it. It's sort of a country song. It's got that kind of haunting, twangy but beautiful melody. It's got a depressing enough lyrical message. I always think this is like the saddest mainstream Dave Matthews song, but the one that people love to sing along to, especially
Yeah.
the One More Drink. But then they don't think about the rest of the lyrics about how he's lost somebody. The last line about your cold hand lay in mine, love that as well. Just a great listen, a sad listen, but a great listen.
Love Grace is Gone. I agree. I think one of the better recordings on that record, and good pick for number 20. I like it. Yeah. And do you think that song would be elevated? Like if the Lily White sessions came out, right? And we're playing a little what if, right? But if that came out and that song's on it at that point, right? Like after they're in stadium size mode right there. I mean, that song could have been massive. I mean, I think it was like the third or fourth single if they ever released it on that record. It didn't really get like a push.
Yeah, it was a massive song. He was playing that song, right? While the
Yeah,
Little White Sessions were in circulation before Busted Stuff, before
yeah,
Everyday. And people love that song. I mean, we learned that song watching him live in
right.
the in that stadium tour.
Yeah. Good pick. Grace is gone. Number 20. All right. On this side of the coin, we jump ahead a couple albums, I think.
Okay.
2008 Big Whiskey and the Group Grux King. Why I Am at number 20. This is Roy's song. This is their ode to Leroy Moore. Of course, Big Whiskey was the last album. I guess the right way to say it is the last one he was directly involved in.
Yep.
So this is their tribute to him. He apparently loved this song. It's a straight ahead rock tune. It chugs, dun, 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 yeah, And I often think like people label them a jam band. I think if you said to Dave like, "What are you?" I think they desperately always want to be recognized as a rock band. And this is one of those songs that can kind of like put a stamp on that a little bit. Um, Interesting footnote to this song, I think there's a great guitar solo in it. And Tim Reynolds, while he's been around the whole time, right? 30 plus years, this is the record where he like officially becomes a member of the band.
Yep. Yep.
Like, he gets the paycheck with the Dave Matthews Band stamp on it. And I feel like they give him this, right? They give him this like great solo in there. And I was listening to it again coming into to doing this today. And I don't even know if it's like a mini verse at the end of the song where he says, still here dancing with the Gru Grux King. We'll be drinking
Yep.
big whiskey while we dance and sing. And when my story it ends, it's going to end with him, heaven or hell. I'm going down with the Gru Grux King. And like, you can love your wife, you can love your husband, you can love your partner, you can love your parents, you can love your siblings, but there is like a love with friends and friendship. And I think that line for some reason has always resonated with me of like, these guys really do love each other, and they
Yep.
lost one of their brothers. And that was like Dave at his most honest, being like, however this ends, our stories will always be, you know, entangled. And I don't know. I thought that was just a really the whole song serves as a powerful remembrance of, a foundational member of their world.
It's a happy song, but it goes hard on that album. Like that album it's got some weird songs on there. You got some kind of very Southern inspired songs, and then this one
Yeah.
just kind of goes hard.
Yeah.
It's a
Comes
great
out of the
one.
gate, goes hard. Yeah.
Yep.
Why I am.
Awesome. All right. Number 19, we're going to skip back a few albums now. We're going to go with Stay from Before
Oh,
These Crowded
oh,
Streets. For me, this is like the most sort of radio friendly song on Before These Crowded Streets. I think it was their second single. They kind of went out with Don't Drink the
yeah.
Water, and it feels like Stay got some, got some play after that. This is a very confident song, just laid back, great tune. A lot of water and wetness in the lyrics. I always picture a fire hydrant going off, on a
Yeah.
street corner when I
Yeah.
listen to this song, because he's describing how hot it is. But there's a lot of like, dripping
So
sweat, and
hot you could fry an egg.
so you could fry it, or as he says live, you could fry your brain, right? Um, yeah, it's recognizably Dave Matthews because of the saxophone and all the typical kind of like Dave-isms in the song. But I was thinking to myself, like, could this have been like a Hootie and the Blowfish song? The reason it's not a little bit higher for me is that it's not as quintessential Dave as some of the ones that are higher up on my list, but still just a great tune. One that I almost was able to play live in high school. We were going to do this for like our talent show, and a kid called in a bomb scare, so we never got to do it. I
Oh,
forgive
that's a
him.
bummer.
Good news is I think he's straightened his life out.
Good for that. Good for that kid. Yes, Stay. I feel like there was and we're talking about studio recording, so I hate to go off course, but there was like a time there where it's like you went to Dave between like 98 and like '05, say,
Yeah.
whatever. And you got to stay like every night.
Almost.
Like they just played stay all the time. So like it became exhaustive. And then like but then like when you actually settle in, you're like, yeah, like what a great
Yeah.
vibe. It's uplifting. It's a party song. Like if you're in the backyard, like stays, like you put that on, everybody's happy.
Yeah. A weird closer though, because you're always thinking maybe he'll play another song after Stay, but then he doesn't stay.
Yeah, I wonder if he thinks about that. Nice pick for number 19.
Thank you.
Um, on my ledger at number 19 from the Everyday album, and I know you'll have something to say about this, the space between. And we've talked about Everyday because you had so right last week when we chatted. Um, we talked about what a departure Everyday was as an album for the band, but this song was like I can transport back to hearing it for the first time. It was an oh wow moment. It was just like this perfectly crafted little radio ballad. Everything about it was like pristine. Um, and the thing for me is like if you're gonna change course and work with Glenn Ballard and make a record like this, you better damn write a song like this. You know what I mean? And they did, and it was like I think it's a beautiful song. It was a successful song for them. I think this. Back to the aesthetic, like the sonic landscape of the song really, I think, matches the lyrics so well, right? It's kind of this spacey vibe to the song. It's the stars in the sky vibe, and that's the song sort of like mirrors off that a little bit. I got a little trivia for you.
Okay.
All right, so at the point, and I remember this, I just started working in radio around this time. Uh, the space between was at that point their highest charting Billboard single ever. It
It was on
peaked at
Total Request Live. For people
Yeah,
who don't know what that
it was
is,
that level big for the
it
band.
was
Like
like
it
a
was a good
daily
song.
MTV show where they would
Yeah,
count down the top 10 most demanded music videos. And
yeah.
it's not like the music video for this song was
No, it
like
was a goofy. It was them
they were just
on
playing
like a
like Carter was hitting the drums and it was rain on them. I just remember this water bouncing
it
up
was a
from the drums.
jetty or something like
Yeah.
that they were
Yeah.
sitting out on or anything. But it peaked at number 22 on Billboard. So they didn't have their but there's a song after the space between, right? That charted higher on the Billboard charts and is their highest charting single of all time. I'll
Is
give
it
you
where
one guess.
Where are you going?
It's not. You would think that because of the
Into
soundtrack,
the
right?
movie. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, it's American Baby,
Oh.
which is not peaked at number 16. It was a top 20 hit.
What? That's just a tribute to how big the band was at that point.
Yeah, they were a machine.
Yeah, where
They were
it
like
just
RCA Records was like somehow
yeah.
this needs to go top 20.
Yeah. I
I
don't know
don't
if
care.
American Baby's going to make it onto my top 25, but
Anyway, space between number 19, bonus points for fun alliteration. These fickle fuddled words
these fickle
confuse
fuddled
me.
words. Amazing. Listen, I strongly disagree with this song being your number 19 because it's my number 18. So let's just keep talking about
No,
it.
is it really?
It's really my number
Oh,
18. Yeah.
we
So
find this
okay,
is our first
so
crossover.
it's our first, and what a segue, right? But we won't talk too much longer about it. Here's what I'll say. I remember the little videos that were coming out when Every Day was about to come out. We'd already heard I Did It, and there was a lot of like, I don't know. But then you heard the opening chords of The Space Between,
Oh, yes,
which we
yeah.
later found out was when Glenn Ballard handed Dave the baritone electric guitar. The first three notes he played were boom, 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 right? So that was like the start of the song.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. The rain that falls splash in your heart like sadness down in a window into your room. I love that. That's like the climax of the song. Um, it's a big song hiding in a little song's clothing, is that the way I think
Ooh,
about it. It feels
that's
like it's
good.
not, it's one of those like it's not a first encore really if they play it correctly. The thing that you ding this song for if you're not following the rules, which we are following the rules, like if this was a grading of the live performance, this song has never translated for me as well live as it sounds on the album. It will never sound as good live. I remember when they played it on Saturday Night Live, it was the second song they played when they were on promoting Every
Yeah.
Day, and it was a big disappointment after just loving how this sounded on the record. But in terms of the recording, I think my favorite recordings in terms of the sound on Every Day, beautiful song, mainstream appeal. People who don't like Dave Matthews like this song too.
You know, the funny thing about your live assessment of the song is if you've heard him do this as like the first encore in that sort of solo setting, it sounds better.
Yeah,
Like when he strips everything away and plays this song, it's
yeah.
like tear jerkingly beautiful,
But it
you know?
doesn't. They never be able to get it big live the way it sounds on the record.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of space on the song. You know what I mean? Just no pun intended, but like, it's very structured. Like, where are you going to take this song? You know,
Yeah,
but all right, wow, that was a great segue.
we're being very efficient today.
Number 8, we're on 18. 18, much different vibe. Now we get into signature Dave. So, I got a couple signature Dave songs coming up, and number 18 is Too Much off of the Crash album. Um, it is sort of a deeper song, I think, in terms of like meaning and lyrics, the idea of overindulgence. I always think about that with this song where it's like people are partying and having fun whenever it's played, but it's like,
But it's too much.
yeah, but it's too much. And it's like, look at yourselves. Like, what are you doing? You eat too much, drink too much, everything too much. But it is a jam. It
Yeah,
weaves everything we love about this band together so well. It's the DMB blender song. It's
yeah,
Leroy, it's Boyd. I think Carter and Stefan, it just proves what a tight ass rhythm section they are to pull this song off. And, it's just funky Dave. It's fun Dave. It's quirky Dave. It's too much at number 18.
and from a live perspective, this was always a song you could see coming because they would only for many years they would just play it with so much to say going into anyone seeing the bridge going into too much. So you knew with like 8 minutes to spare that you were getting too much. You were just ready for those first couple of chords, which you're right. Like if you don't have the violin and the saxophone, it just doesn't feel as big and sudden. And it's again, we'll say this about a lot of songs, but this is like a song that like only Dave Matthews Band could I think to pull this song off.
Yeah,
Uh,
agree.
I am with you moving into more kind of like vintage Dave Matthews territory at number 17, Tripping Billies.
Oh,
Yeah.
eat, drink, and be merry.
This is just like you listen to the song. This is like a big party at the beach, very much like one I've never been to in my life. People are not wearing very much clothing. The fact that he's describing bracelets as the main thing, people are wearing shadows and bracelets, so it doesn't sound like there's very much clothing happening. But this is just one of those. We're all here. Let's just have a great time together. I wonder, like, if this is a song, one of the songs that people think of when they think of Dave Matthews, because it introduces the fire dancer, right? To me,
Does,
this is
yeah.
when I see the fire dancer, I think of Trippin' Billies because of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Great bass line, great ending on the album too. No bridge, just like very simple, kind of chorus refrain, but just a great listen. Never a skip for me. Eat, drink, and be merry.
We're staying on the crash train here, pal.
Oh boy,
Uh, if I had too much, I have to have so much to say right after it. So
you went in the
I,
opposite
I
order.
went in the opposite direction. Yeah, number 17. Well, depending on how you're reading the list, right? At
That's
number
true. That's
17,
true.
yeah, I thought it would be fun to put these two together on the list.
Nice.
It's hard to separate them,
Yes.
Um, but so much of what applies to too much applies here. Signature tune for the band. Um, again, also like I think there's a deeper meaning, and it's a fun, quirky tune, funky tune, but this one is more about like struggling with identity a little
Yeah.
bit, I think, um,
My hell is the
and
closet. I'm stuck inside. That's like a.
yeah, and
It's kind of like a dark lyric, right?
it is, yeah, and I think our formative years for Dave when we were 15, 16, 17 years old, and I think so much of that you identify with so much of that, like knowing when to speak, when not to speak, how to feel comfortable in your own skin. So,
Yep.
it's kind of funny that two of the more like feel good party type songs have so much to identify with on a really kind of meaningful level. But so much to say and too much. It came to me after the fact. Like those are two songs they played when they got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All
So
right.
it
Yeah.
seems like Dave looks at these as pillars of the band as well.
Yeah.
It also won them their first Grammy award, so deserves to be on the list. So much to say.
So much to say. Okay, we're going to get off the crash train here, but we're not going to go too far from that album. My number 16, last one of this episode, Dancing Nancy's. Um,
Good
this is,
song.
again, one of those. He's young. He's thinking about what's going to be. He says, 23, I'm so tired of life. And thinking about what's to become of him. Think about 23-year-old Dave Matthews if you had told him everything that was going to happen to him. But he's thinking about all these other different paths he could take. Um, but then ultimately the song turns from that kind of like uncertain, awkward opening where there's just not much happening other than the drum to again a happier what's the use in worrying, what's the use in hurrying, and it really then opens up into a full kind of quintessential Dave Matthews Band song. You got the saxophone, you got the violin. I don't know what they do to the echo effects on Leroy's saxophone in this song. It sounds especially good. It sounds like he's got, a bit more kind of reverberation to it, and it sounds different than some of the other tunes on that album, like "Love Her Lay Down" by number 25, which I love too. But that's a gentler saxophone solo. But I just love this song. Love hearing it live even more. But the studio recording absolutely holds up. Sing and dance, I'll play for you tonight. The thrill of it all. Just a great, I'm here. Dave's here. We're all here. And it, one of those saddish songs that turns into a happy song at the end.
You know, um, have you? I don't know if you've noticed this. You've gone back to these records. You've listened to these songs for the zillionth time. But I
Yeah.
do find with Under the Table and Dreaming and a song like this, the swell on those songs
Yes.
is sort of unparalleled.
Yeah.
Like where some of those songs start and end
Yeah.
are two very different places, but there's just sort of like an evolution within the songs that is uh really cool, and b like kind of like mind blowing in a way. Like how did we get from here to here? And
Yeah.
that song is a great
That's right.
example of that.
And just all you have in the beginning is like boom, boom, from Stefan, and you've got Carter just hitting uh,
Yeah,
two notes on the drum to what becomes at the end. Again, one of these songs that it feels like it go on for 8 minutes.
yeah. Nice pick. We've hit some like real signature classic
Yeah, this
Dave
is it.
songs
This is
tonight.
we're getting to the meat territory.
Yeah.
There's no more fat to cut.
All right, we'll see where they stack up. All right, well, we're not in the crash mode. We're not in the under the table dreaming in mode. We're going Dave solo at number 16 from Some Devil, So Damn Lucky. This
Excellent.
song, this song slid up and down my list. At one point, it was in the top 10, and I
All
pulled it
right.
back. I pulled it back down. Um, and the reason I pulled it back down, maybe this isn't fair. It's so literal. Like the more I listen to it, I'm like, he's just
Yeah.
describing a car crash, like the
Yes.
worst car crash you could, not the worst car crash you could imagine, but
Yeah.
and I feel like sometimes like you don't totally get literal Dave, like he's speaking in
No. In f-
right.
the literal Dave songs are often not the strongest lyrically,
Yeah,
right? Where
yeah,
he's literally singing about a person or a thing or an event. Like it's not for me, that's not usually the strongest tunes.
yeah. But I thought this is sort of like lyrically a little out of character, not in a bad way, but it's just like the more I listen to him, like, yeah, maybe I'll slide it down just a tad. And I mean, we're in the top 20 now, so it's not like, we love these are the songs we love. But he does like paint such a distinct picture in this song, which is really cool. And
Yeah,
I
I
think on
started
a
sliding, I lose
yeah,
it.
and on a bigger level, he again, like we've talked a lot about mortality already. It's episode 3. But it is reflective of like it's not quite seize the day, but it's like after I get out of this car stops sliding, I'm gonna really, it's
Right.
like
Yeah. I'm gonna commit.
Costanza after he has his like he thought he had a heart attack. He's like, I'm gonna live my life, to the
Right.
fullest. But
A
this
week later, he's on the
album,
couch eating like
yeah,
milk duds.
we've hit on a couple some devil songs, at least
Yeah,
one so far. This album just sounds so freaking good.
I
Like
know.
it's so amazingly produced. The players are great, and at the end of the song, the guitar work, Trey and Tim, whoever is in there, they just sound magical. Like it's like this
Yes.
magical like
Yep.
tornado of just guitar sounds that just like I feel like I'm levitating when I'm listening to it. I love So Damn Lucky. It is translated. I'm glad the band plays it.
Yeah.
Um, could have been higher on my list, but I thought it was a good fit for number 16.
It's a great pick. Excellent.
All right, man. Well, we cruised through those pretty well.
Yeah. Well,
I
these
haven't
are
looked
easy
at
to
the
talk about now.
clock.
We're in the, these are songs that we've listened to, like you said, a billion times. So there's not a lot of studying that needs to go in at
Yeah.
this point.
You're gonna set up a kicker question to wrap up the episode tonight, but I do want to just remind folks to follow on YouTube at the DMB Top 25. That's probably where you're watching right now. But subscribe so you get all the episodes as we head into the top 15. Same handle on Instagram at the DMB Top 25. Email is dmbtop25 at gmail.com. No the before that. And yeah, we like to, we talk about the music a bunch. We cruise through these tunes. But I tasked Brian with coming up with a question each week for the Dave fans out there. And if you want to, comment on our IG or on our YouTube with answers to the kicker questions, feel free to do that. It'd be cool to see some of your responses. But what's the question of the week, Mr. Nick?
Well, this one you inspired, which is what is your white whale live Dave song? The one that you've never quite caught as many shows as you've been to. If you sit down at the next show, or we don't sit down at the shows, we stand up. But if you're at the next show and
It's getting harder to do that.
I know it's getting harder to do that.
There are some
The
songs where I'm like, I
lawn, the
might have to
lawn
just
is
lean.
not
I'm
as
gonna have to just
yeah.
lean back a little bit.
We're gonna have to bring like lawn chairs to the lawn seats now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're 3 or 4 songs in, and bam, hits a song you've always wanted to hear him hit, and never has while you're there before. So I'll let you go first.
All right. This is so lame. I feel like this is so lame, and I think I'm never gonna get it. I think I'm never gonna get it. But you've been, 1996 was my first show. So this is 30 years of going to Dave Matthews Band concerts. I have never uh heard Let You Down.
Oh, you probably never will. That's one of those. I
It's
don't
the
think you
only
played
song,
it.
it's the only song from Crash I've never heard.
Wow.
And it's like do you think I'll ever hear "Let You Down"? I don't know if that'll ever work its way, but I'll have to go to like a Dave and Tim like
It
weekend or something
sounds like
for
Dave
that
has let you
chance.
down, not playing that song.
Yeah, it's one. It's like if he played that, I'd probably be the one person screaming for it because it's like a checkbox thing for me
Well,
at
now
this
I would
point.
scream knowing that that was your White Whale song.
Yeah, yeah,
But
but
I think that's
that's
one he has not played in a very long time. It's
it's a
not just a matter
rare
of like, you're just not a hopscotch deal where you just missed it. It's like he doesn't really play that one.
it's a rare one. It's a rare one these days. How
So
about you?
So mine has a little more hope, especially the last couple of years. He's been playing this song again. I have a little bit of an asterisk is that I would like Dave to quiet down the crowd and invite Bella Fleck and Alanis Morissette onto the
Ooh,
stage to play Spoon,
yeah, Spoon's great.
which will not happen. And even when he was playing this song, he has been playing it the last couple of years. It's been
Yeah,
on the tour. If I had been not an idiot and gone to the Jones Beach show last summer, I would have heard it.
if you
Um,
came to me with MSG 2 years ago, you would
yes,
have
I know.
heard it too.
23 played it there too. I know.
Yeah,
So this is like it's the white whale song because like there is a whale there to catch. But my fantasy is that he just sings it like he does on the album, which would be incredible.
I don't think he's ever done. Has he ever done it with Alanis?
No, no, no. I looked. He's never brought her out, but he's
Yeah,
played it a bunch with Bella Fleck.
yeah, and he's had other like vocalists come out and sing it with him, which is kind of cool. I saw when I saw him, it was
But
just the band. There was
but another
nobody
one where I
special.
probably would be doing this and everybody else would be going to the bathroom or something. So
No, Spoon's good. I think people
I know
like
it is
Spoon.
good, but
Spoon also I think Spoon translates really well too. I think he no he where did he play Spoon? Part of me thought he opened with Spoon when I saw him, but
he
he
has opened
must
with it.
he
Yeah.
did. He opened with it that night in 2023 at MSG. I had to look for that.
You would have had to have smelling salts under my
It
nose.
took a minute for me to like I was like what are they playing? You know, because you don't
Right,
expect that. You
right,
don't
right,
expect Spoon opener. But
right,
anyway, well that was a
right.
good one, man. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
Thank you.
Um, thanks, gang. Thanks to everybody who's followed us on the gram and watching on YouTube. We appreciate it. We are going to be heading into the top 15 next time we get at it. He's Brian Nick. I'm Mike Basilikos. Eat, drink, and be merry, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Yep. Take care.